Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
The ninth inning has had all the action in this installment of the 2012 Battle of the Bay. Friday, Ryan Cook suffered his first disappointment as the Athletics closer. He lost his control, and some clutch Giants hits sank Bob Melvin and the boys in Game 1. Yesterday, the Athletics almost had a comeback for the ages, rallying for 4 runs, but coming up one shy of tying it up. In the end, it was another loss for the A's. Today, the green and gold will have to dig deep to avoid the sweep as they face Giants ace and Mr. Perfection, Matt Cain. It's the final game of the Babe Ruth series. A's-Giants next. It's an absolutely gorgeous afternoon for baseball at the O.Co Coliseum. Huge crowd expected as the A's and the Giants wrap up this 3-game series. And how about the pitching matchup? Matt Cain, well, he threw a perfect game a week and a half ago. For the A's, a major league debut. It's the right-hander A.J. Griffin, so it's going to be fun to watch this afternoon. A's, Giants coming up on Comcast Sportsnet California, and it is Hyundai Sunday here on Comcast Sportsnet California. And it's brought to you by your Bay Area Hyundai dealers. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball along with Ray Fosse. I'm Glenn Kuiper. Well, indeed, an interesting pitching matchup, a Major League debut against Matt Cain. We all know about Matt Cain. He's faced the A's many times, but the resume got a little better about 10 days ago.
Well, when you throw a perfecto, and of course Dallas Braden about 3 or 4 ago, he had number 19. Matt Cain had number 22, and that was against the Houston Astros. And there's no doubt, probably every time he takes them out, he's got a pretty good chance. The last out was a little bit shaky, but it happened. Posey congratulated him, and well, when you're one of 22 to throw a perfect game, and we know here with Dallas Braden pitching his on Mother's Day a couple of years ago how special that was. But Matt Cain, there's no doubt why the Giants signed him to a long-term contract. He is a star. He knows how to pitch, and that showed it with a perfect game.
And A.J. Griffin has taken them on for the Athletics. Major League debut, just called up, so maybe some butterflies, but so he's going to have to work through that.
Well, forget about Matt Cain. He's pitching in front of a sellout crowd. He's pitching against the Cross Bay rivals, the Giants, trying to end a 2-game losing streak. He throws strikes, or at least he did at AAA. Let's hope that is the case this afternoon, because if a pitcher throws strikes, he has a chance to make his fielders work, and that could only make him a very good pitcher.
Well, lots of excitement the first 2 games of the series. Unfortunately, the A's have come up on the short end both times. Well, maybe today they can salvage the final game of this Bay Bridge series. So it's the A's and the Giants coming up here at Comcast Sportsnet California. We'll have lineups and first pitch in just a moment. Stick around.
Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Toyota. Check out the great deals at your local Toyota dealer today.
Well, a big day for that young man. The major league debut for today's starting pitcher for the Athletics. His name is A.J. Griffin. So we hope he has a good, maybe even a great major league debut as the A's get set to host the Giants. Beautiful afternoon for baseball. Let's check that game time weather. It's brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 64 degrees. Lots of sunshine. In fact, very, very few clouds in the sky. So beautiful Sunday afternoon for baseball, and the A's trying to salvage the final game of this three-game series. Series has not been short of excitement, Ray, but short of a win for the Athletics, unfortunately. It's been a busy, busy 2 games. So let's take a look at the lineup this afternoon for the San Francisco Giants. It starts with Gregor Blanco and then Terrio, Cabrera, Posey, Pagan, Sandoval, Belt. Sanchez will DH and Brandon Crawford.
Well, he was drafted the year Dallas Braden pitched his perfect game, and here he is in the big leagues, 6'5", 230-pounder. And, of course, combined at AA and AAA, but especially at AAA, walking just 7, striking out 40 for the tall, big right-hander. And, yes, Kipe, as he said, I'm ready. And I said, nice meeting you, you know. So he's pumped. He's got the alternate go jersey on, so maybe a little reflection back in the good years, and maybe he can bring that out as well in his debut today.
The defense behind A.J. Griffin looks like this. Smith in left, Crispin center, Reddick in right, Inge, Pennington on the left side, Weeks and Moss on the right side, and Derek Norris again behind the plate this afternoon for A.J. Griffin. So Griffin is ready to go, and so are we. Giants won 5-4 on Friday, 9-8 yesterday. The frantic, valiant comeback in the 9th inning by the A's came up just a shade short. First pitch of the major league career for A.J. Griffin is a strike, so they flip the ball back. So we're underway from the O.K. Coliseum.
They'll authenticate that ball. It'll be in his trophy case forever. Even better yet, if he can get a win, authenticate that. The lineup card, get everybody to sign it. But most importantly, making his debut, and let's hope his feet have touched the ground sometime already. It's quite a thrill.
He's 6'5", 230 pounds, 24 years old. So he went to the University of San Diego from Southern California. 13th round pick of the A's in 2010. And strike 3 called on the inside corner. So good start for A.J. Griffin.
The most important thing, when you throw out the first ball that you make in your major league debut and it's a strike, you want to finish off the batter, and he does it with a little two-seam fastball inside corner. It's the call of Brian Gorman, the veteran umpire behind the plate, and he likes the call, and strike 3 it is. I hope they don't throw out a baseball every time he does something. They won't have any left. Steve Vucinich will have to go into the vault to pull out some more baseballs.
So Terrio steps in. AJ stands for Arthur Joseph. Terrio hits a little pop-up, headed toward the seats, and it'll make the seats. Griffin, his first year in the minor leagues, 2010, he was a reliever, and then last year a starter, and he pitched at all 3 levels in the minor league system for the Athletics. One and 2 to Terrio, and it's hit into the left field. The base hit, kind of a breaking ball that just kind of hung up there, and Terrio waited on it.
Hanging curveball, and you know it's good if it's down in the zone. Try to get a hitter to swing at a bad pitch, but a hanger in the eyes of a right-handed hitter or a hitter in general, that's usually going to be the result. Obviously, it's not intended to throw the ball, leave it up in the zone like that, especially with 2 strikes, and especially with a hitter who's not the big power hitter. I guess a power hitter might have hit a home run, could have. But guys have a tendency to shorten up if they're not home run hitters, and they're going to handle those breaking pitches much easier.
So here's Melky Cabrera taking all the way, and the first pitch is a strike to Cabrera. Terrio with a pretty good lead at first.
Griffin with a nice line step, which helps, trying to keep the runners close that potentially might be there to steal.
Terrio 7 steals on the year, so he is a threat to run. 2-1 the count. Griffin this year made 7 starts in Double-A, and then was moved up to AAA Sacramento, where he made 8 starts. And the interesting thing is that his last 2 starts for Sacramento were both against Fresno, which is the Giants' AAA team, and he beat them both times, including a complete game. So from the Giants standpoint, they probably made a call to their AAA people and said, we need to know what this guy's all about. I think he pitched 3 times total against Fresno.
Well, he's used the slide step consistently in this at bat, 5 pitches, and you hope it doesn't take away. But he's definitely doing a good job keeping his foot close to the ground, and the slide step helping the catcher. And we'll see if it happens here on the 3-2.
Terrio takes off, and that ball's looped toward the A's bullpen and past the A's bullpen. Foul ball. Terrio heads back to first. A's come in with a 34-38 record, so they're back to 4 games under the 500 mark. A's, Giants, on the other hand, are 40-32. Giants 3 back of the Dodgers. That one's driven to center, but playable for Coco Crisp, who goes back now, comes in. So that's out number 2.
Hey, Kipe, if Eric Sogard was playing infield today, we would have a pitcher and an infielder wearing glasses. You know how rare that would be?
Eric Sogard is not playing in the infield today.
No, he's not here. Unfortunately, he was brought up, and just the use of relief pitchers, and Evan Scribner brought back. So there are the spectacles, the glasses worn by A.J. Griffin, and it is rare to see players wear them. That's what was so rare about Eric Sogard. He wears glasses and does quite well, and I'm sure he will be back again.
So these are the roster moves. McCarthy to the disabled list. Sogard to the minor leagues. Evan Scribner called up. A.J. Griffin called up. So Scribner goes to the bullpen, and what the A's have now is an extra man in their bullpen. So they have 8 relievers.
Well, they need it also, just because of what happened the last couple of days. And sometimes moves have to be made. If you have an option, which Eric Sogard does, then that's what happens, back and forth. And Tyson Ross knows exactly what happens there. You know, the one thing that I'm happy to see, and I knew that Eric Sogard had options. Of course, he'd gone back and forth, but it was mentioned that he was designated for assignment, which is totally different.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Because, but if you have an option, you can go up and down as many times as the club wants to send you. As bye-bye Balboni. Remember, he's with the Yankees. Columbus.
Tyson Ross pitched decent yesterday.
As Tyson said, he knows Interstate 80 well for the 85 miles from Sacramento to Oakland. But that's the good news about Sacramento. That's close for the AAA affiliate of the A's.
This was Posey yesterday. It turned a 6-4 game into an 8-4 game. And it was a long one.
Yeah, that was a Cespedes drive down the left field line. Hit it so hard it couldn't hook. And the Giants kept adding on. The A's unfortunately made too many errors.
Posey skies one. Foul territory into the seats. Well, it's just natural when you lose a 1-run game. You start looking back at mistakes that were made, and it was the defense yesterday, and then you saw how the game ended, where the Giants did end up making a big play at the end. But 4 errors by the A's yesterday. Posey brings one into the seats.
Well, you wouldn't think a 22-pitch first inning would be a little stressful, but I think making your Major League debut, it is for A.J. Griffin, trying to get out of this inning, especially facing a very tough Posey with
Sandoval in the on-deck circle. That's Pagan should be. Sandoval's behind him.
And Posey's making Griffin work. Another foul ball, so 1-2 the count. Ray, if you're a hitter and you're facing a guy obviously you've never faced before, you don't know a lot about, do you take a few more pitches at least in your first at bat?
Well, or you hope that he's going to throw a fastball and you're going to be ready to hit it, which Posey's fouled off 5 after starting the at bat 0-2.
So you're banking on maybe the guy, hey, he's his debut, maybe a little nervous. He probably would rather throw fastballs.
Well, and after hanging a curveball to Terrio, then all of a sudden Cabrera comes up, sees fastball, same with Posey. So Derek Norris bring it back in.
And that one's driven to left, and that's deep. Smith going back, and that's gone. Posey homers, and the Giants lead 2-0. He can hit.
Well, the board said 81, which tells you it's a changeup up in the zone and sped up the bat of Buster Posey, who fouled off the fastball. It's pitch number 10. And it's gone. And that quickly, Matt Cain has a 2-0 lead.
Kind of like Reddick yesterday, giving the A's a 2-0 lead in the first inning.
Well, maybe that's good news.
Maybe.
Because the A's have scored early both games, but have not been able to hang on and win. So falling behind today, although they're falling behind a very good pitcher in Matt Cain.
So Pagan, the hitter, a switch hitter. 10th home run for Posey. He now has 40 RBI. Pagan rolls one toward Weeks, and that will do it. So Buster Posey, a 2-run homer. So after half an inning from the Coliseum, Giants lead 2-0. Let's take a quick look at the lineup for the Athletics. The rivalry indeed is hot. Crisp, Weeks, Reddick, Cespedes, Smith, Inge, Moss, Norris, and Pennington. Here's your Athletics starting lineup.
Well, Matt Cain 9-2 on the season, and his last 3 starts against the A's. He has pitched very well, 2-1, and 0.87 earned run average. So he's pitched well against the A's here at the Coliseum, and 4-pitch pitcher. And I think what we saw even Bay Bridge Series, using a lot of change-ups and fastball counts, so he's very comfortable using any of his 4 pitches and make it 5 with a couple of different fastballs.
0-2 to Coco Crisp. 214 with a homer, 14 RBIs for Crisp. He's got 3 hits in this series. Did not get a complete game yesterday, though. He was thrown out arguing balls and strikes. Belt dives, can't get it. So Coco is off to the races. Blanco picks it up, and Coco will stop at second with a leadoff double. So an 0-2 pitch, and Crisp has a two-bagger.
Well, first pitch fastball, then a couple of off-speed pitches from Kane to Coco Crisp. So Coco, as he has been doing lately, starting off very nicely in the leadoff spot. The 0-2, another curveball, and right in the middle of the plate. And as the great Hawk Harrelson would say, after calling Phil Humber's perfect game, he would simply say to Matt Cain, cancel the press conference.
Yep.
No need for a press conference. That's the Hawks' favorite line now, especially after
he's called a few.
After giving it up a little bit.
So here's Weeks. First pitch to Weeks is a strike. We say this often, Ray, and we say it a lot when the A's play the Giants, but it's official. Angel Pagan is playing the shallowest center field I've ever seen.
You're right.
It almost looks like bases loaded, ninth inning tie game, and they're playing all the way in. I mean, that is clearly the most shallow I've ever seen a center field.
There's no doubt. And it's like the roving shortstop. You can see where it's.
Man, that's amazing. I mean, they're all shallow, all three, and it's a good outfield, a lot of speed. It's surprising, even the Giants, how shallow they're playing. 0-2 pitch to Weeks, high fastball, foul back.
And you know, unfortunately, if you're a team facing them, you're going to realize that he's going to rob more hits in front.
I think so too.
Then he's going to get burnt on balls over his head. Because a lot of times, if a ball is over an outfielder's head, it's going to be a double anyway, or at least extra bases, maybe even a home run.
Chile going over the scouting report with Cespedes. A's trying to answer back here in the bottom of the first. And that one's hit shallow left field on Cabrera over, and he reaches up, makes the catch. So out number one, let's check out that Giants defense. We talked about the outfield. Cabrera, Pagan, and Blanco. Then Sandoval, Crawford, Terrio, and Belt on the infield with Posey behind the plate. Kane pitching. So here's Reddick, and Reddick, after a slump, is now a hot hitter. And he's done some major damage in this series. 5 hits, a couple of home runs. First pitch, changeup that floats outside. He's also walked 3 times in this series, so he's been all over the base paths.
Now, Pagan in center has moved back. Of course, it was Jamal Weeks that he was playing in shallow for him defensively. Reddick with more power, so he's cheating back, or at least playing back a little bit different as the rest of the outfielders.
Fastball is high, 2-0. The A's are 18-19 at home and 9-8 in interleague play. So if they can get a win today, they'll finish interleague play with a winning record. And a decent month of June. They're 12-9. And there's a dry base hit right field. Blanco got a pretty good arm. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's wide. Posey picks it up and then throws to second, and Reddick is out at second base. But an RBI hit for Reddick, so he continues his big series, but he's thrown out at second, so it's a 2-1 game. And Reddick thought he got in there. And we will see if he did.
Well, nice hitting, especially for the very hot Josh Reddick, and Buster Posey a nice play as he knew he had no chance for the play at the plate. Changeup, tailing away from the left-hander, and well, the throw coming in, but very simply, it was Posey from behind the plate coming up, taking the ball and off balance, throw towards second, making the throw, and Reddick thought he got his right foot in, and that's the problem. When he stopped at first and then tried to kick it up again, he thought it was safe, but not the case.
So Reddick gets his 38th RBI to make it a 2-1 game. Cespedes hits with 2 outs. but nice to answer back in the bottom of the first, especially against a good pitcher. Pop up into the first row right behind the Giants dugout. Pretty nice play by the catcher.
No, that's a strong arm that he. No, that's why he was safe, because he missed the tag. Kind of went around the tag. So Reddick knew, but unfortunately the umpire was out of position to see exactly what we saw.
0-2 pitch, high fastball. Cespedes swings and misses. Side retired. A's get a run on a couple of hits, so we're through one. Giants 2, Athletics 1. California is brought to you by Ford, with 3 models delivering 40 miles per gallon or better. Beautiful day. That would be a bad place to be if you were not here at the ballpark. But another nice crowd. So it's been a fun week of baseball, Ray, with good crowds for the Dodgers and the Giants.
It's been a lot of fun to see crowds here, a lot of excitement. We don't care who they're rooting for, just see them here, and I think that's the fun part about it. A lot of, and I think especially in the Bay Area, because the Giants are across the Bay, the A's of course on this side, the East Bay, you have fans of both American and National League teams. So the Dodgers came in midweek, so a lot of Dodgers fans here, same with the Giants over this weekend. So the A's, who lost the first 2 games in San Francisco in the first round of interleague play, beat Tim Lincecum and the Giants on the Sunday afternoon, and trying to do it today after losing the first 2 games of this series.
Sandoval, Belt, and Sanchez. 3 hitters. That's 6, 7, and 8 in the Giants lineup.
And from the A's standpoint, they'd like to do something in this series that they have not accomplished in some other ones, like Minnesota and Arizona, and lose a tough opening night game of a 3-game series and then end up losing all 3 because of that first one when they should have won and maybe would have swept instead of being swept.
This will be pitch number 34 for Griffin, and throws it right by Sandoval. So second strikeout for Griffin.
The thing about Griffin, he throws strikes and he works quickly. This one up in the zone a little bit, and fastball and a good one. So gives up a couple of runs in the first inning. 2-run home run by Buster Posey, and trying to shut down the Giants. Get through the batting order the first time, see how they react the second time through the order.
Well, here's Brandon Belt. Belt's been an issue for the A's in this series. Swing and a miss on a fastball. He's 3 for 5 with a double, a homer, 5 RBIs, and he's walked 3 times. Here's your breakdown. The righty lefty in the minor leagues for A.J. Griffin.
See why the lefties maybe are hitting less than right-handers. A two-seam fastball. He runs inside to lefties. Also runs quickly away from them. And maybe the changeup that threw Posey just pumped up a little bit too much, left it up in the zone.
Well, he's not going to walk guys. Just looking at his starts in Sacramento. This is what Belt did yesterday, and that was a big home.
Oh, it's huge. Especially for Jerry Blavin's mislocation with a fastball. Supposed to be away, left it inside, just barely cleared the 367.
Outside, but talking about those walks with Griffin, Ray, his last 7 starts, he walked a total of 4 guys, so he's a strike thrower.
And, of course, at this level, if you throw strikes, that could hurt you a little bit because hitters know you're going to be around the plate.
Swing and a miss. Good changeup there. Belt swung over top. So back-to-back strikeouts by Griffin.
Wouldn't that be nice for him to get a shutdown inning in his first opportunity? And that is a great changeup. If he throws that same one to Posey, it's not a 2-1 game. It's a 1-0 game for the Athletics because this is the type of changeup he wants to throw down and to hit it out on the front foot. And again, these hitters, the Giants seeing Griffin for the first time, except what they've seen on video or some who may have faced him at minor league level. But second time through the order is always critical because they will talk. Hitters talk and try to figure out what a pitcher's doing.
Sanchez is DHing today. He's a switch hitter. So Griffin maybe settling in with the nerves a little bit after giving up that home run by Posey, as it's an 0-2 count to Sanchez. Checked his swing. And now 2-2. Brandon Crawford, who would be next if Sanchez were to get aboard. Close pitch with a fastball, but inside, 3-2.
Derek Norris, the rookie catcher, watch him bring this ball back in the strike zone. Might work some places, not here though. Umpires really don't like that.
There's a line shot left field. Smith is going to have to play it on a hop. So Hector Sanchez, after 2 hits on Friday night, he's got a base hit.
Smith trying to play shallow in left field. Fastball down and away. And Sanchez a good job just going opposite field with it. And Smith did a good job making sure he was just going to give him a single and not try to make the spectacular play, give him extra bases, keeps the force out in order, keeps him out of scoring position.
Here's Crawford, the shortstop. First pitch strike. Crawford is hitless in this series. Slowly hit right to the first baseman Brandon Moss. Steps on the backside, retired to hit, and a runner left. Bottom of the second coming up. It'll be Smith, Inge, and Moss. 2-1 Giants. 21st, 2006. Matt Cain pitches a one-hitter here at the Coliseum. Giants win it 6-0. At 5 strikeouts, and he threw 120 pitches. So that was May 21st, 2006, and that's our true story, brought to you by McDonald's. First pitch to Seth Smith is a bit outside. Against the A's, a little bit of a breakdown, but the last 4 starts he's been very good. Seems like he's pitched well against the A's just about every time. But 2006 was his first full year in the majors. He got called up in 2005 and he was only 20 years old. Seems like he's been around forever, but
he's got to be around forever.
27 years old only.
The contract he just signed, he's going to be in that uniform for a lot of years.
And that hits Seth Smith. So he's going to take first base. So a leadoff base runner for the Athletics.
Cain's fastball tops about 91 two-seamer, but he also throws a lot of breaking pitches. This slider gets the back foot, I think, of Seth Smith. Well, he bounced back. Looked like he might have avoided being hit, but he did a good job of indicating the ball had grazed his left foot. He'll take it. But I think that's the biggest thing that has allowed Cain to be so good. 51% fastballs. You can see the breakdown of slider, change, and curveball. That's a lot of off-speed pitches that he throws. Not surprising that he does as well as he does. A lot of confidence in those pitches.
Sandoval has it. Underhands to Terrio, who gets the out at second base.
A's fans come out to the Coliseum Sunday, July the 8th for a 50s Turn Back the Clock Day. 10,000 fans will receive a 1955 Oakland Oaks hat presented by Cache Creek Casino Resort, where the A's host the Mariners. For more information and tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com/tickets. And you know Steve Vucinich will have the uniforms ready for Turn Back the Clock.
Here's Brandon Moss. There's a breaking ball, and it steps in for a strike. Quiet series for Moss. 0 for 7 with 4 strikeouts so far. So he's trying to get going again. I think Bob Melvin said it best. Of course, Moss had the tough day defensively yesterday. He said, listen, he's learning. He has not played there very long. I mean, it's not easy. You can't hide somebody in the big leagues.
Well, everybody assumes that first base is the easiest position to play on the field. There is so much going on. Game speeds up so fast whenever, first of all, you're playing a position that you're not familiar with. I think the hardest time I ever had was playing the outfield. You'd think it would be easy. Oh. It was the worst. It felt so uncomfortable. I said, get me back behind the plate. I don't want to be out here.
That one hit high to center field. Pagan is under it. And that's out number 2. All right, here's our Ford right choice. We're going to give it to Derek Norris, and this was his first major league hit. Get down.
Look at that line drive.
That's right.
Wow. Bullet.
That was in the 5th inning. A little smile. He had a get that authenticated baseball. Yeah. All right. It's official.
Yeah.
And he had a big hit in that 9th inning when the A's scored the 4 runs to come back.
The ball Brandon Inge in the seats was not the ball.
Of course not.
Shot Thursday afternoon against the Dodgers. It was caught at third baseman, and Uribe, like it might be extra bases, but right to the third baseman.
Well, both catchers who were behind the dish for yesterday's wild one are back behind there again today. So it was 12 pitchers used, 7 by the Giants, 5 by the A's. 4 hours, 15 minutes, the second longest 9-inning game in Oakland history. And the top array, you'll like this, 385 pitches thrown combined. So if
He got a hold.
He got a hold. It wasn't pretty. The old hold.
We don't know what he held, but he got a hold.
Ray and I and many of our friends think the hold stat is actually, it's really sort of comical for that specific reason, that Santiago Casilla, who didn't get anybody out, got a hold. Just handing out holds left and right.
I guess holding your glove on the mound warrants
That's a hold.
a stat. Well, you know, what you didn't mention that game, it started a day game, ended as a night game.
Well, that's true.
It's 4 o'clock local time, 4:15 start. You know it's going to be sometime into the early night, but
well, I mean, obviously you should be able to give multiple holds in a game then, right?
Yeah.
If that was the case, then every reliever that pitched for the Giants yesterday, 6 of them got a hold. Well, 5 and a save.
yeah.
All right, we don't like that stat. Hold.
That the agents do.
Yeah. 1-2 to Norris. Strike 3 called, outside corner. Second strikeout for Kane. So we're through 2 at the Coliseum. It's the Giants 2 and the A's 1. Be sure to log on to CSNCalifornia.com for a special sneak peek featuring the scientist, Josh Reddick. We followed Reddick during his visit to the Chabot Space and Science Center. CSNCalifornia.com, your interactive home for authentic Bay Area sport. So make sure you check that out. And we appreciate Josh Reddick for
Does a lot.
Yeah, well,
Does a lot of the community.
We want to learn about A's players. So here's the leadoff man for the Giants, Blanco. So far for the rookie A.J. Griffin, 48 pitches through the first 2 innings. He's got 3 strikeouts, given up 3 hits, and 1 bad pitch to Posey.
Yeah, you know why you need 8 relievers.
That's true.
1 after 2.
Blanco, he will do that occasionally, and I've seen it work.
Yeah. Ozzie Guillen, one of the best I ever saw. He and Alfredo Griffin, a couple of guys that played shortstop very well, and would stop the ball like that. And of course, with the third baseman playing in, if you can hit the hole between third and short, slapping the ball, you got a very good chance of beating it out. Plus, the hitter from the left side is running out of the batter's box, so it's like out of the starting blocks very quickly.
So Griffin jumps ahead of Blanco, 0-2. Broken bat. Pennington, bare hands, guns it to first. That's a nice play by Cliff Pennington.
Well, that calls for a beer fest.
Right.
The annual Ace Beer Fest will take place on Saturday, July the 7th from 5 to 7 at the Eastside Club. Enjoy beer from over 30 microbreweries, live music, and you're hearing it right there, and much more. Souvenir beer mug and 2 tastings will be available for $10. Additional tastings will be available for purchase. Must be 21 or older to purchase tastings. Admission is free with a game ticket to that night's game against the Mariners. For more information, go to OaklandAthletics.com/beerfest. I love that music.
Yeah.
I mean, that's worth it just to slow down and not even talk. Just
Relax.
let the music play.
Terrio had a base hit in the first inning.
Cliff Pennington, boy, you tell me, find anybody better than making a play. Knew he could not get it on the fly, and if he doesn't catch it or actually field it with his bare hand, he probably does not throw out the Speedy Blancos. So great play by Cliff Pennington, who did not play in yesterday afternoon/night game. But a great play, set himself up perfectly, turned to the side, so when he did catch the ball, right here, next Mo, check this out. He decided to get a force at second when he didn't have it. But, well, you have to make sure you make the play with the bare hand and have a good enough grip. Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort.
So 1-2 the count to Terrio with Cabrera in the on-deck circle. Top of the third inning. Terrio got another breaking ball and shoots this one foul.
You know, it's amazing how infielders and outfielders and even a catcher, not so much a pitcher because they want to throw a baseball with movement, but how you can put the ball in your glove, and as you put in your bare hand, you can spin the ball to get the four-seam grip, because ideally you want to have that type of grip to throw the ball straight. You don't want movement.
Speaking of movement, that line drive had a lot of movement. Pennington stayed with it and grabbed it.
He thought it was hooking, decided to slice on him, and he had to adjust very quickly, going back to his left to make the play. Terrio, he had a hanging curve his first at bat, thought he had another hit, but this ball hit it towards left field, and then Pennington a quick step back to his left, and a nice adjustment by the A's shortstop to knock Terrio of another hit. You know, talking about reaching in and grabbing a baseball with the hand and making sure you have the four-seam grip, all the more difficult for an infielder. We've seen Brandon Inge on Thursday and Cliff Pennington in this game, where you field the ball bare hand. You don't put it in your glove, so you're just hoping when you field it, because you don't have a chance to put the ball in your glove and make the adjustment, spin the ball to get the four-seam grip. So it's simply grabbing the baseball, hoping that what your hands, your fingers are putting around the baseball is a good enough grip, the ball can go straight.
And if you're fielding it barehanded, that tells you right there you're going to have to hurry.
You have to hurry, and really you don't think about what type of grip you have. You're going to throw it, and if you get movement, so be it. But what Brandon Inge talked about on Thursday, if he did not have a good enough grip, he would not have attempted to get the runner at second on the bunt. He would have adjusted and gone to first base. And it is always amazing when you see these guys charge the ball, especially a third baseman on a swinging bunt or a bunt, and grab it barehanded.
Cabrera skies one. Tough Sun. Smith on the run, still on the run, and he makes the catch. Side retired. So A.J. Griffin has a 3-up, 3-down inning. Bottom of the third coming up. 2-1 San Francisco.
brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. The further you go, the closer you get. Trains departing daily from the heart of the Santa Cruz Mountains. Beautiful look at the Coliseum on a nice day with a good crowd. Giants with a 2-1 lead, bottom of the third inning. It'll be Pennington, Crisp, and Weeks, 3 switch hitters to face Matt Cain. Cain's allowed 2 hits and a couple of strikeouts so far in the game. Bard on the move. Not a bad way to get to the ballpark.
It's a day like today with the traffic, the number of cars, and seeing the parking lot full. You have to go to the auxiliary parking space. So taking Bart, get off at the Coliseum ramp, walk across, and you're here at the yard.
1-1 pitch at the knees on the outside corner, 1-2. Dodgers and the Angels are underway. It's a 2-2 game, top of the 4th inning. Harang for the Dodgers, Richards for the Angels, and that's the rubber game of that series. Angels at home, but after the game they will head out, and it'll be a 9-game road trip for the Angels. They'll go to Baltimore, Toronto, and Cleveland, so they'll be gone for a while. So we'll keep a close eye on that game. 2-2, top of the 4th, Angels and Dodgers. This would hit very high. It's a long run for Blanco. He's headed into the corner, foul territory, and he makes the catch. The way he was kind of going after it, you got the feeling that he knew he had it under control, because he was not in a dead sprint after the ball, and he got there in time to make the play.
Hit very high and just not a lot of foul territory. He was able to, with the ball in the air for such a long time, figure out how far he could run into foul territory without banging into the wall. Just braced himself after making the play, but fortunate for Cliff Pennington, it did not hook enough to get into the seats.
So here's Coco Crisp, who's had a very good series. He doubled and scored in the 1st inning. He's faced Cain now 9 times with 3 hits. And it's a 0-2 count. The Rockies and the Rangers will play tonight down in Texas. The Rangers, as summer has arrived, they start playing their Sunday games in the evening due to the very hot weather down there.
As we'll find out a week from today, we'll be doing the same thing.
Yes, we will. That's the rubber game of that series. It's White and Harrison pitching matchup. Matt Harrison is going for his 10th win. So if he's pitching today, that means the A's will see him next weekend. Cain kicks and the 1-2 pitch. Before the A's get to Texas, the Rangers will host the Tigers for a 3-game series.
Just a matter of time. Tigers starting to play better, and it's just a matter of time. They're going to put some consistent wins together. They're too good of a ball club not to, and that's what enables a ball club like that to start slowly. Get some new members, Prince Fielder in particular, Cabrera playing 3rd base, but that's why the season's long and have plenty of time if they start slowly to pick up the ground.
Another 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss by Coco Crisp. That's a changeup, and Cain's changeup is a little harder than most.
And it has a lot of movement too. It can go like a slider as this one does, or it can go straight down away from the left-handers. The thing about Matt Cain, I mentioned his fastball, and we showed the percentage of pitches thrown as a fastball variety, 2 and 4 seam fastball, but he's not a pitcher that throws any place close to the middle of the plate. If it is, it's off speed and trying to middle of the plate and down, maybe even out of the strike zone, get a hitter to swing at it. Talked to the great Vin Scully and talking about Sandy Koufax's perfect game in 1965, and he said Koufax was a type of pitcher, and then probably put Matt Cain in that category too. Nolan Ryan with 7 no-hitters, Koufax with 3 no-hitters in a perfect game. He said about 3 or 4 pitches into the game, you could have a pretty good idea that he might be pitching a no-hitter.
Maybe just from location, right? If he's got the good
good control.
But you see this guy who has pitched so well against the A's, of course, the perfect game against Houston, and watching him today and how he eliminates the middle part of the plate. And there it is. It's that pitch alone right there. And some hitters, a lot of hitters, want mistakes. This guy doesn't make too many. Right in the outside corner, nailed it perfectly. And of course, his reputation is going to give him a lot of close pitches as well with the umpires. Didn't see that.
Well, you know what else he does is he can pitch up and down.
Yeah.
And not a lot of guys can do that.
Well, the old north, south, east, west.
Yeah.
He can do all four.
Lincecum will see the Dodgers. Dodgers come to San Francisco this week, so that'll be a big series for the Giants.
The much lighter Bruce Bochy's on 20-25 pounds, as we mentioned we saw on Friday night. He gets to show it off this afternoon. No jacket needed with a warm afternoon game.
He was fun to watch yesterday in the ninth inning.
Yeah.
He couldn't believe what was going on.
Well, you go in the ninth inning with a 9-4 lead, you feel very comfortable, you know, especially solid bullpen. Bumgarner took it late, and then all of a sudden it's worry time. Takes a good bounce in left field and a great play by your second baseman. Otherwise, you might have walked away with a loss.
3-2 pitch to Weeks and a 3-2 changeup, but Jamal spoils it.
See old throwback jersey.
I like him.
Sleeveless.
First baseman.
It's made my day.
So see what Kane throws this time on 3-2 to Weeks. And he comes at him with a fastball, and it's fouled back.
Well, this is what looked good against Garcia. He gets a hold for this because he held it. It hit the warning track into the seats instead of clearing the bases. It's a ground rule double. And instead of Brandon Moss scoring, he had to go back to third base. And, well, that was a heartbreaker for the A's to come back like that. Very close to being a walk-off slam, but into the seats, but hitting the warning track first.
Setting up inside, and he missed badly. So a 2-out walk for Weeks.
Threw him a slider, did not want to challenge him, and Josh Reddick gets a changeup with a couple of balls on him, 2-0, and scores Coco Crisp. And unfortunately, Josh Reddick was safe at second, but called out as he got the left foot in on the slide. Good play by Buster Posey.
So Reddick with a terrific series. First pitch to him is outside. Now 6 for 8 with 5 RBIs in this series.
The great thing about Reddick, he has performed so well for the Athletics with the 17 home runs, 37 driven in, make it 38 now. But struggling the way he did for a period of time after 10 home run month of May. It's good news for him. He was in there every day. And I'm sure with Boston, he didn't experience that. He knew he was going to play every day here, and that's the difference in a player. You have good games, good months, and all of a sudden you start struggling. You know you're going to stay in the lineup and find a way to get out of it. You get a chance to swing the bat to get out of the slump.
And now 3-0 to Reddick.
There it is. 4 in April, 10 in May, 3 in June. Tried to go opposite field in Tokyo, didn't make it though in the dome.
Trio pitch to Reddick is high strike call to make it 3-1.
I think he had the green light too. I think he was ready to swing. The ball just was up and tailing away a little bit from him. A little hard for him to get on top of the ball.
Outfield straight away. And the 3-1 pitch to Reddick, and he had a good swing. Fastball out over the plate, and it's a full count. Reddick is 8th in the league in home runs. He's 6th in the league in runs scored. 9th in the league in total bases, so he's in the top 10 in some significant offensive categories.
So you say in a couple of weeks he's going to be traveling to Kansas City?
Tied for 3rd in triples. 3-2 pitch. There's that high fastball. Now it'll be interesting to see. We just talked about it, Ray, where you pitch up and down. So you see a fastball high, and what a pitcher likes to do sometimes after that is throw something down.
Well, the thing about Reddick, he likes to pitch down. So to foul off a high fastball, you know, he throw him a breaking ball down, he drop the head of the bat on it, even a low fastball. Say if Kane can do it, he might want to stay up in the zone, get him to hit under a ball instead of on top of it.
Another 3-2, and he got him with a breaking ball that was inside. So Reddick strikes out. 4 strikeouts for Kane. We're headed to the 4th. 2-1 Giants. Perfect games since the 2000 season. There's been more since 2000 than there was a couple decades before that. You had
we got 4 since 2010.
Yeah, exactly. You had to look long and hard for perfect games before that.
So Burley in between 2000 and 2010. Mark Burley's in there. Who'd be the other one? Because we know the 4 since Dallas Braden's.
Posey to lead off. Got a pitch to hit there, fouled it back. 2-run homer for Posey in the first inning. Changeup that kind of had hit me written all over it. Posey hit it deep into the seats in left center field.
Well, Posey had a chance to see every pitch that Adrian Griffin throws. He threw 10 and ended up hitting the 10th, which was the changeup for the home run. And after fouling off fastballs to the right side, he gets a changeup, speeds up his bat, left it up, and again maybe an adrenaline changeup when he left it up too high.
That one was up there as well. Posey fouled it back.
On location, changeup gone.
Just missed. That last count, Posey was leading the National League catchers in all-star voting. I think the voting stops Thursday, I believe. So he's got a pretty good chance to be a starter in Kansas City. So now full count with Pagan next and then Sandoval to follow.
Yeah, I wonder how Buster Posey catches knuckleballs.
This one is skied shallow center. Coco fighting the sun, and he's got it for out number 1.
Yeah, the amazing thing, maybe it's a week or so ago, I was checking the All-Star. Mike Napoli, catcher, had the most votes. Rangers. Beltre, Rangers.
Yeah.
Kinsler, Rangers. Josh Hamilton, Rangers.
Yeah.
Ron Washington may have his whole team in Kansas City.
So he won't even have to. He won't have to name any. They'll all get voted in.
Yeah. Because I think those 4 were leading the respective positions, and Elvis Andrus wasn't. Well, Jeter's running away with the shortstops, which he should. Somewhat of a popularity contest.
A little bit.
You know, depending how well your team is drawing. Rangers, of course, selling out every game. Yankees will always be at the top. And I think the captain, Derek Jeter, is always deserving of being the shortstop.
So a great idea, national sports writer, and you know what? I don't remember who it was, and I wish I remembered, but I was reading it. And great idea. You should have a rising star choice from each league. And you should have maybe a veteran that's retired or something like that, like a Chipper Jones or something like that. 2 extra spots on each team. What you like that idea?
Yeah, I like it. I like the veterans.
You know, pick your best rookie
or
who you think is the best rookie so far that year. Reddick coming in, Weeks going out, Weeks battling the sun, and he makes the catch.
You know, when Jamal Weeks put up his hand, it could have been for one of 2 reasons. Number 1, to shade his eyes, but also telling Reddick he had the ball. I think he was hoping Reddick would come in. Right there, he's using to shade his eyes. Josh Reddick charging quickly. Normally the outfielder will call off an infielder. Infielder will go as long as he can until he hears the outfielder. Evidently, Jamal didn't hear him, and there's the hand shading the sun, and no sunglasses. Come on, Jamal. Somebody call time. Take him some sunglasses. That was a great play considering he didn't have sunglasses. But I think, uncertain of this being the right side, the sun is more towards left field, and then as the evening comes, it will head more towards right field. As we see in the evening games, right fielder is always in sun. With Pennington on the left side. Moss has them. Inge. And you know, the center field is Coco's going to have him. Seth Smith can't do it. Cannot take them off your top of your cap quickly.
Turn them around. Inge dives, he's got it. Gets up, throws to first in time. Nice play by Brandon Inge. Takes a hit away from Sandoval. 7 in a row retired by A.J. Griffin. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Still 2-1 Giants.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your
6 pitchers to throw a perfect game since the 2000 season. There they are. Randy Johnson in 04, then Burley in 09, then Braden and Halliday in 2010. And so far this year, Humber and Kane. So that's since 2000.
Forgot about Randy Johnson.
So I looked at the perfect games just out of curiosity. David Cohn threw one in 1999 and David Wells in 1998.
And back-to-back years at Yankee Stadium.
That's right. But then it thins out a little bit. Kenny Rogers in 94.
Big.
Dennis Martinez in 91. Tom Browning in 1988 for the Cincinnati Reds.
And you go down to, you have Len Barker on there?
Mike Witt in 84, and then Len Barker in 81. And then you got to go all the way back to Catfish in 68. So there was not a perfect game from 68 to 81. Koufax in 65. That's the game Ray talked about. Jim Bunning in 64.
Senator Bunning.
And then Don Larson in 56. And then you got to go all the way back to a gentleman by the name of Charlie Robertson in 1922. So for whatever reasons, it's happened more recently, but still a pretty impressive feat as a fastball by Cespedes for strikeout number 5. Here's our Geico quote of the game. It comes from Dallas Braden, and this is what he said on Twitter about Matt Cain's perfect game. A beautiful game. Congrats to Matt Cain and a historic franchise in the city. A special memory. I'll tell someone's kids about it. Well, you know what? We'll take that to heart from Dallas Braden because he knows what it's all about to throw a perfect game. So they're brothers in a very small fraternity. Seth Smith skies one to center. Pagan has the glasses on, and he's got it for out number 2.
But again, the opportunity to talk to Vin Scully. He did not call Dallas Braden, but we got the opportunity, and Gabe Kapler to Cliff Pennington, and there it is, perfecto. And Peggy Lindsay in the house. Dallas Braden on Mother's Day. Well, Dominic had about a 3-hour session downstairs authenticating everything from the perfect game.
Busy.
Oh, pink bats, everything. But Dominic did a great job, as did Dallas Braden on Mother's Day with the perfecting.
So Inge reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. There's the high fastball, and Inge missed it.
You know, Matt Cain early first time, or actually first plus time through the batting order. A lot of off-speed pitches. Now to Cespedes, fastball. Smith a fastball. A couple of fastballs to Inge. And then he crossed up his catcher throwing a slant. But Posey, that looked like a pretty good pitch, but evidently I don't know that Buster Posey knew what was coming. Curveball.
And a good one, and Inge swings and misses. So a couple of strikeouts for Cain in the inning. He's now got 6 through 4 innings. We're heading to the 5th. 2-1 San Francisco. by Hyundai. Hyundai Sunday, brought to you by your Bay Area Hyundai dealers. Top of the 5th inning from the Coliseum. Giants 2 A's 1. A.J. Griffin making his major league debut has done a good job. He's retired 7 in a row. Posey with a homer in the first inning. Belt goes after the first pitch. It went very high. Smith and Coco, and Crisp struggling but makes the catch.
Celebrate Independence Day with the A's. 10,000 fans will receive a patriotic A's red, white, and blue baseball hat presented by Wells Fargo when the A's play the Red Sox on the 4th of July. For more information and tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com/tickets. Now, when the Red Sox come in and they have this beautiful cap, Red Sox will think you're just outfitting us with another cap.
Sure.
Because that's their color uniforms. Red, white, and blue. It's all right. Big Poppy. Biggest story right now is Kevin Youkilis.
Sounds like any moment in trade. It's weird. 2 years ago, he's a cornerstone player, but they have a good pitch there. Big breaking ball. Sanchez waves at it. So strikeout number 4 for Griffin.
Isn't it amazing what happens when a player comes out of nowhere, like this curveball comes out of nowhere from A.J. Griffin? That was an outstanding pitch. Boy, he has settled down. And that is 9 in a row that he's retired after the Sanchez base hit with a couple of strikes in the second inning. But other than that, since the home run by Posey, only the single. And Griffin has given up. He's been outstanding. But Kevin Youkilis goes on the disabled list. He's hurt. So Middlebrook steps in, and all of a sudden he's got the job. Well, minimum salary versus Kevin Youkilis.
Sure.
And of course, Middlebrooks has options.
A line shot into the glove of Brandon Moss. So that's a 6-pitch inning for A.J. Griffin. So bottom of the 5th coming up, still 2-1. Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray question. Henry from San Jose asked, what do people mean when they say someone handles the bat well?
Well, let's show that shot we had of that ugly bat with a pine tar on it. Yeah. You handle it well, your hands stick to it. You have to handle it well. I'd say it's probably more of a hitter who uses the bat almost like who's it? Who's doing the slap bunt?
Blanco.
Yeah. You handle the bat. You got a couple strikes. You can handle the bat. You make contact I always like to see hitters, unless they're power hitters, that swing hard anyway, but get a couple of strikes, they'll shorten up and just try to make contact. So by doing that, you're handling the bat well. It's not a matter of picking the bat in your hand and handling it while swinging it. It's what you do with it, certain pitches. But I saw the bat. I thought it's going to be a question about pine tar.
Yeah.
And how some pitchers will use pine tar in the gloves, on the gloves. Yes. What pitcher Peralta did with the Rays. He got 8-game suspension.
Yes, he did. Can't have pine tar in your glove if you're a pitcher. So you say, well, why would a pitcher do that? Well, pine tar, if you've ever touched it, is a very tacky substance. So it could make the ball move, no doubt about it.
Well, it also gives you a better grip. You get a hot, muggy day, and you have a tough time gripping the baseball. Of course, indoor at the Tropicana Field Dome, you know, that's not going to affect you there. But they were in Washington, where it was hot and sticky. Remember, Davey Johnson, the manager, said that you add a little pine tar, and you get a better grip on the baseball. That's pine tar, folks, right there at the knob of the bat. Hitters use it to get a firm grip on the bat. Someone actually suggested that Jamal Weeks use a little bit more because he keeps losing the bat. Had a pitcher I caught in AAA playing in, we'll say, Oklahoma City, or Tulsa, one of the places in Oklahoma. And he had a pine tar rag in his back pocket. I think, don't you think that's a little obvious? But he put his hand in his back pocket. He'd come out, and you can see this big black spot in the back pocket. I think
nobody did.
Yeah. I think they know what you're doing. But he actually put so much pine tar on the baseball on his fingers. He threw a pitch, and the ball came back to him with the bases loaded. Throw it at first for the third out. He had so much pine tar, it stuck.
There you go.
And he overthrew the first baseman, 3-run score.
Huh.
So he didn't get caught with it in his back pocket. He got caught with it on his fingers. Yeah. But that's going to the extreme.
Swing and a miss. So that is 7 strikeouts. So Kane is settled in.
Well, Brandon Moss kept fouling off some tough fastballs, but you always know that something else can come along, like the slider. Got Josh Reddick last inning, or 2 innings ago, with a slider or a 3-2 count. So Matt Cain, it's always nice to know you have 4, maybe 5 pitches in your back pocket. Catcher calls a sign, you can throw any of them anytime.
First pitch to Derek Norris is a fastball that's a bit high. Well, all that pine tar talk. There was an article in the paper today about your old teammate Gaylord Perry. It's great. Listen to he's talking about how he used to do that thing where he just touch all different parts of his body, do it real fast on the mound. And he said a lot of times I wasn't even touching anything. He said, but I had a hitter thinking, what's he do? Oh, he just touched it. I know that.
Well, that's how I knew he threw it.
He didn't do anything.
Because I would watch it. No, that was the greatest throw catching him in 1972. Just to listen to hitters, you know, thinking that he was throwing this so-called pitch. But he
said he would shake guys' hand the day before he was pitching, and he'd put a little bit on his hand. Hey, how you doing? And he would, and the guy would be like, man, he got Vaseline on his hand. I know he's throwing that. Right. Genius.
Hey, he was great. But you look at numbers today, and I always like to go back to those 72 seasons. 40 starts for Gaylord, 24-16, Cy Young Award, and 40 starts at a 4-man rotation. And he would pitch complete games. I mean, 330, 340 innings. Just a remarkable specimen of a pitcher. The way he took the mound every time, expecting to go to the distance.
Tough sun. Nobody sees it, and Belt ends up getting his eye on it right at the last minute. Terrio, the second baseman, who it's probably his ball, he did not see it. But there must have been some communication because Belt was able to get back there.
Number 2.
Well, he did it. Took his eye off the ball, and charging in for right field was Blanco. He was not going to get to it, so it was up to one of the infielders. As it turned out, it's the guy without the sunglasses.
So Kane has retired 11 of the last 12. And that one bounced toward Belt, who ranges far to his right, spins, throws to Kane, side retired. 3 up, 3 down inning, and we're on to the 6th. So both pitchers pitching well. 2-1 Giants.
July the 3rd, the special patriotic themed show begins after the A's play the Red Sox at the Coliseum. Bring the family and then your picnic blankets and enjoy the show from the outfield grass. On-field capacity is limited. For tickets and information, go to oaklandathletics.com/fireworks. The Red Sox, what a big patriotic 3 games against the Red Sox. July the 3rd with the fireworks. Of course, 4th of July. Have a lot of great things going on here at the Coliseum on the 4th of July. That's a day game. And Nearbon with Troops Direct will be out of here, and it should be a special day on America's birthday,
July 4th.
A.J. Griffin has impressed quite a few people in the stands, the scouts, I'm sure, and the opposing players.
10 in a row. He's
and pitching coach Kurt Young, manager Bob Melvin, guys have to really be impressed the way he is pitching after a 28-pitch first inning. Looked like he was going to be short. 48 after 2. Better think about the bullpen. Here he's pitching the 6th inning.
Blanco, another broken bat. That's the 2nd one for him, and he's retired. Well, we talked about Kevin Youkilis, and the trade just went down. And that was the rumor that the White Sox had the inside edge. So Youkilis goes to the Chicago White Sox for Brett Lillibridge. We've seen him.
Yeah.
Young pitcher, starting pitcher Zach Stewart.
Number 5, Ryan Theriot.
Norm Cash? The late Norm Cash?
Norm Cash.
Kevin Cash? Now, wait a minute. You look at the cost of Middlebrooks for the Red Sox. And again, first year, it's got to be minimum.
Sure.
So you think Cash will be going to play
to
help
that's
pay
true,
Youkilis' salary. But Kevin Youkilis is not finished by far.
I don't think he is either.
No. Well, he was thought of very highly by the Athletics. The A's wanted to try to sign him, trade for him many years ago. But
and he has an option. Contract has an option next year. It's for a lot of money, $13-14 million. But the point is if you get him, well, you then have the option if you want him back next year as well.
And I stand corrected, but if it remains the same, when you are traded in the season, you have the option of demanding to be traded.
I think
at
so,
the end of the season because of contract status, whatever. But you could demand to be. But Chicago White Sox, right in the Central Division, right in the thick of things. So goes from the Red Sox to the White Sox.
Pennington has it, and Theriot is retired. So A.J. Griffin rolls on, 12 in a row now retired.
But everybody talks about the athletics organization and pitching, and we have seen it going back to the Big Three and go back to the 70s. Great pitching throughout the great history of this organization. And here it continues with a young man drafted in 2010. There's Tommy Malone over from the Nationals, Tyson Ross, the A's organization. So pitching is supreme. It's just a matter of having that type of pitching to do well, and they seem to do that exactly.
Starters, 4 hits or fewer in the last 7 games. That's the starters. That's bunted, and it's going to trickle foul. Action in the bullpen. The lefty Doolittle starts to throw.
Well, we're just talking about pitchers, and they put up a first baseman. What a story. A lot of first basemen would love to throw as hard as he does.
So 1-1 to Cabrera. A's have been able to keep Cabrera quiet in this series. He is 1 for 11. He's having a terrific season. Leading the major leagues in hits, but just 1 in the series.
And there are times you do not want to change months. If you're having a great month, Josh Reddick with 10 home runs, he didn't want to go to June. Cabrera just off the charts the first couple of months plus. And that's him right there. He swung at ball 4 perhaps to try to get a hit.
So 3 up, 3 down inning, 13 in a row retired by A.J. Griffin. Bottom of the 6th coming up, still 2-1. Freeze cam. Coors Light Freeze Cam is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. It's the world's most refreshing beer. Well, that young man has been very good. A.J. Griffin, just a mistake to Posey. Home run in the first inning, but he's retired 13 consecutive hitters. Matt Cain has been good as well. He's retired 7 consecutive hitters. 77 pitches for Cain, so he's got some pitches left. He'll face the top of the order: Crisp, Weeks, and Reddick. And that one's lined deep but foul. So a loud strike 1. Angels have taken the lead over the Dodgers 3-2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Padres are leading the Mariners 2-0, 5th inning in San Diego. That's Noesi for Seattle, Volquez for the Padres, and that's the rubber game of that series. We'll see the Mariners tomorrow night.
So the A's will not see King, Fittix, or Hector.
Doesn't look like it. Vargas
A couple of guys that pitched well against the A's earlier.
Crawford charges, guns it across to get the speedy Coco Crisp.
So what happened at Fenway? They traded Euclid, and you're saying we're told
they took him out during the game.
During the game, standing ovation. The Fenway faithful knew what was going on.
Well, he deserves that.
Absolutely.
He was a terrific player for the Red Sox. So we'll see how Kevin Euclid does with the Chicago White Sox. As Ray said, White Sox right in the thick of it. They won today 1-0. So as I look, the White Sox win, the Indians lose. So the White Sox take over first place by a half a game. So he is technically going to a first place team.
So you become buyers and Red Sox sellers at this time.
With the final scores now coming in. Terrio can't get it, and Weeks has a base hit. A 1-out single. So now the A's will get their hottest hitter up with a runner aboard.
Is that a Giants fan cheering the base hit by Jamal Weeks?
I don't know, he had an A's jersey on.
Okay, with the Giants hat. Jamal got it past Terrio, and once it went past Kane, so the first hit for the A's since the first inning.
So here's Reddick. RBI single in the first, struck out in the third. And that pitch way inside.
Well, that man knows all about the Boston Red Sox faithful, Josh Reddick, who was a member of the Red Sox before being acquired by the Athletics.
Pablo Sandoval coming down the line, still coming down the line, and he dropped it. He picks it up, he throws to second, and they'll get the out there. So luckily for Sandoval, the ball did not roll away in any crazy direction, and he was able to pick it up and throw to second.
That's when you always want 2 outs with a fly ball like this on a tough sun field. Posey did not want any part of it. Sandoval actually didn't himself, but you're right. He picked it up with the one hop and then on to second base and hit him in the heel of the glove, but popped right up into his glove. Those sunglasses still prefer this flip down. Those wraparounds are good. They look cool, but boy, they just not have the UV to be able to shade the sun.
So 2 outs for Cespedes. Cespedes has had no luck against Kane, a couple of strikeouts. He's 1 for 11 with 7 strikeouts in this series.
And they have been doing one thing, fastballs. They had him the fastball first at bat 0-2, 2-2 fastball is second. And again, a power hitter. Got Lindblom on Thursday, the walk-off home run, the 3-run shot down the line as a fastball inside, but not the velocity that Kane has.
Reddick with a good lead. Reddick, pretty good base stealer. He's got 7 steals. He has not been thrown out this year. Certainly don't want to take the bat out of Cespedes' hands, but you also have to, I guess, look at how the opposing pitcher is throwing. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1.
Another fastball, and seeing a lot of power hitters with great bat speed have trouble catching up with a good fastball. But you make a mistake, you think you can flip a breaking ball to throw an off-speed pitch and think you can fool them. They're so strong that they can get fooled and still hit it a big distance. Vargas cut fastball that he threw to Cespedes hit up in the second deck against the Sweets in left center.
And that one fouled just below us. So Kane ahead in the count 1-2. So see if he indeed sticks with fastballs.
Outfield bunched toward the gaps with Pagan just shaded a little bit toward left center. So a lot of room down the line. Down both lines. Reddick takes off, pitches inside. Posey's throw is light. Reddick has a stolen base. So now the tying run is in scoring position. Pretty good jump by Reddick.
Yeah, great jump and a great time to steal with the pitch. And of course, after getting 2 strikes, he's thinking exactly, not trying to take the bat out of the hand of Cespedes with a couple of strikes, though. Reddick goes on what was an off-speed pitch thrown by Matt Cain. And Posey had no chance to throw him out. So now a base hit ties the game. And that's the difference of a couple of strikes on a hitter versus early in the count, staying at first base. Maybe thinking a 2-run home run. Be happy with a single now.
2-2 pitch. Fastball just missed outside, a full count.
Just off the plate outside. And fortunately, Brian Gorman didn't call it, but now first base open. And even though Seth Smith on deck circle, because Matt Cain can throw any of his pitches, makes it difficult on a hitter. It's really tough to gear up for a good fastball 3-2. You might get it, but you might also get some other slider or curveball.
And a high fastball, and Cespedes walks. Cespedes kind of disgustedly flips the bat away.
Well, they wanted to hit, but maybe it's Hyundai Sunday for Seth Smith. We haven't seen a home run from Seth recently on Hyundai Sunday.
So 2 on, 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Smith hit by a pitch and a fly ball to center field so far. He has faced Cain a lot. The numbers are not in Smith's favor. He's 2 for 25. But at this point, we'll take a bloop somewhere.
Absolutely, and like A.J. Griffith's going to go out for the 7th inning.
Bullpen's quiet.
95 pitches for the young man.
Cain kicks and the pitch. High fastball, and Smith fouls it straight back. And there's that, just a little elevation on the fastball.
Think about Matt Cain. And he's doing exactly what I think a pitcher should do. He's a quality pitcher. He's got a long-term contract. He knows he's going to be in a Giants uniform. Got a perfect game. Winning pitcher. Starting to get some run support. So let's see if Seth Smith can take all that and come out on top.
Fastball down and in a little bit. Smith had a good swing. So it's 1-2.
Plus, he only has to work every 5 days. He wants to win every day, Bob Melvin, and as he said, and you know, as a former Giant and someone growing up in the Bay Area, following both teams, and as a Giant, he wants to win every game, and especially salvage one of this weekend series.
Cain looks, and the 1-2 pitch to Smith. There's that fastball away. I think Bob Melvin also has the I want to win when there's big crowds in our ballpark. I think that has a lot to do with it too.
No doubt.
And he has said that he thinks it's important to give the fans a win. Reddick at second, Cespedes at first, so a decent speed on the bases. Smith got an off-speed pitch and just got a piece of it to stay alive. Smith had a nice at bat in the 9th inning against Javier Lopez yesterday. Ended up getting a walk. He just kept that 9th inning going.
It's a big 9th inning for the A's. They'd like to do it before they get to the 9th. This is the 6th and a good opportunity.
Another 2-2 pitch. And another foul ball.
Seth Smith, a couple of pitches, doing a good job looking fastball, but making an adjustment when he gets the off-speed pitch. And is throwing in back-to-back sliders, and he's fouled both of them.
Big hole on the left side as Crawford, the shortstop, playing near second base. Sandoval shifted over a couple of steps as well to his left. Another 2-2 pitch is inside and a full count, so the base runners will take off. That will help the Athletics.
And a bullpen active for the Giants after that was pitch number 98 for Matt Cain. 99 coming up.
George Canto starts to throw. Big pitch in the game. 3-2 is lined right field, and that's just foul.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. Ty Waller's going out to argue. Bob Melvin's coming out to argue.
Now both of them had a view, and the crowd
That's Todd Tishner, the first base umpire. Probably the best view of all was probably the bullpen catcher who was right there, and I don't think he's going to say what he thinks.
Wow.
It's not chalk, folks, it's paint.
Yeah. Well, Seth Smith also looking right at it. Bob Melvin. Well, they know that's 2 runs, and that's a lead for the A's, and Bob Melvin continuing to go. And Todd Tishner. Yeah, I think a lot of times an umpire would be better suited. See if Tishner, well, we're going to see the ball, see where it lands. But if an umpire's running, he should just turn around and look instead of running, because your head's bobbing if you're doing that. And it looked like, just from what I remember, that Tishner was running down the line to watch it. Now, you see umpires, they'll just turn and stare.
Which is
at the line. Exactly.
Don't even move. Just turn around.
Because your head's not moving.
So we'll do it again. 3-2. So Smith, forget about the disappointment and try to do it again. Off the crack of the bat, that ball looked like it was going to stay fair.
Doolittle's going to get up again in the bullpen, but just now getting back up, so I'd have to think that unless something happens, Griffin would go back out.
So another 3-2 pitch. Here it is, and it's another foul ball. So good at bat by Smith.
Oh boy, that's a fair ball.
I think that's fair.
That's a fair ball. Wow. That's why everybody had their arms up. Ty Waller immediately went after Todd Tishner, and
so the battle continues between Cain and Smith. Reddick, Cespedes are ready to go, and now timeout is called by Seth Smith.
Right, here's the umpire, Todd Tishner, and until everybody's moving, he stopped. Yeah, he did stop after he started down. So what he didn't see, you can see the white chalk. You can see it pop up. So even though it's not chalk, the paint, which becomes very dry and hard, looked like it did pop up. And you see that, that's automatic. That's any part of the line. See the white come up? Wow. Great shot.
Cain kicks, and the pitch, another foul ball. Affelt now joins Canto, so lefty righty getting ready. 101 pitches for Kane, and this is a high stress inning.
11th pitch coming up to Seth Smith.
And here it is. And another foul ball. A fastball right in on the hand. Smith had a good rip. Well, this could be the most entertaining at bat of the series. Two guys going at it in a one-run game with tying and go-ahead runs on base.
Posey had a 10-pitch at bat. He went deep on a changeup. And that was 1-2. And that's the difference in the game. His 2-run home run in the first.
So again, Kane looks, and the 3-2 pitch. This one's popped down the left field line. Cabrera, a long run, and Cabrera makes the catch in foul territory. A very nice running catch. Disappointment for the Athletics on a questionable call by the first base umpire.
It's the second annual Bay Area Barbecue Championship. It's on Saturday, July the 7th. Championship is a Pro-Am barbecue cook-off with some of the best barbecue teams in the country competing. Celebrity and VIP judges include A's outfielder Johnny Gomes. This event runs from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the Creekside lot. For more information and tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com/Bay Area Barbecue, as in BBQ.
Top of the 7th inning. Kind of a disgruntled A's fan base now. Can't blame him. Seth Smith, we watched him walk out to left field. He was hot.
I don't blame him. I agree.
I mean, listen, that's the A's taking the lead on a 2-run double. And as a hitter, it's hard enough to hit anyways, and then you come up with a big hit against a good pitcher. Game you desperately need to win, and it looks like the umpire missed it. So.
And everybody, I mean, seeing the chalk, anytime white pops, that's an automatic fair ball. And we could see that, whether it was slowed down or not slowed down. And
well, he walked by Tony Randazzo, the third base umpire. That gesture was toward Tishner, the first base umpire. Tony, what's your guy doing over there?
11 pitch at bat, great bat, but about pitch number 7 should have been a double.
Well, that's true.
His lead.
A great at bat too. You're right.
And still, the result was not what he wanted and what the A's wanted, and the frustration continues. And of course, go back to the game in Arlington, Texas, that Thursday afternoon. The A's were not given the benefit of a call, which should have been, on a great play by Brandon McCarthy. They fortunately won that game, and hopefully try to do the same this afternoon. A game in which they should have had the lead. Instead, Matt Cain's probably going to go in the clubhouse with a lead. Well, at least right now, if he leaves after this inning, which is over 100 pitches.
And so is Griffin. That was 1-1 right there. So the count 2-2 to Posey. He'll be followed by a couple of switch hitters, Pagan and Sandoval. Giants have 4 switch hitters in their lineup. 0-2 to 3-2.
Well, you have a rookie pitcher and a rookie catcher. That's not a good, it's a good combination for the future, a great combination, but sometimes not in a situation like this today.
Each team with 3 hits. There has not been an error in the game. And A.J. Griffin, making his major league debut, has retired 13 consecutive hitters. And he just misses low, and Posey has a leadoff walk. So leadoff walk, and Bob Melvin's coming out, and he's going to make the change. So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog expert Doolittle comes in to face Pagan, and the major league debut was a good one for A.J. Griffin.
Sportsnet California is brought to you by Chevrolet and their award-winning cars, trucks, and crossovers, and by Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, you can try the new Chipotle Chicken Club. Make it a combo with fries and a drink.
A.J. Griffin goes 6+ innings, and he did a terrific job today.
I thought the best part about his performance was the walk off the mound and tipping his cap held up high. Very proud, and I don't blame him.
So he is responsible for Posey at first. Doolittle facing Pagan. And there's a strike. 1-1 the count.
Now the one walk was Posey in this inning, and boy, I tell you, in the future that 3-2 pitch is going to get a call to strike. Yes, Doolittle is pitching well, but he does have an ERA now for a little while. To start his career, he had 0.
Pagan foul into the second deck.
How about this though? Fan standing ovation. Thank you. That's good. I like that. First thing to see guys standing ovation, fans appreciating your effort, and walk off and keep your head down. Recognize it. That's great. Considering where he was 2 years ago and where he's been this year.
Just getting drafted.
Yeah.
So Pagan's a switch hitter. So is Sandoval in the on-deck circle. Pagan, a slumping hitter right now. He was Had a batting average up near 320 not long ago. Now he's just a shade under 300 at 298. Doolittle did not pitch yesterday. He pitched on Friday. Pitched an inning, gave up a couple of run-scoring hits. He also had a couple of big strikeouts in that game. And that one's looped foul. One hop toward the Giants dugout. Doolittle threw 24 pitches in that game on Friday. In fact, he was the final pitcher of the night for the Athletics. He took over for Cook. Another foul ball. Dodgers and the Angels tied 3-3, top of the 7th inning in Anaheim.
You know, that's a sea of red, just like this crowd today at 36,067. Sellout crowd again.
Another 1-2 pitch and another foul ball. So Pagan just hitting some weak little pop-ups over near his own dugout. Well, right now the Giants bullpen is quiet, but there's nobody out. We'll see if somebody gets up after there's 1 out or 2 outs. Little pop-up. Again, this one's in play. Pennington has it. So that's out number 1.
Now, we were in Arizona down playing the Diamondbacks, and Sean Doolittle came in to pitch a game, and Mark Grace came over, great first baseman for the Cubs and the Diamondbacks. He came in the booth and said, "I've never seen a pitcher who was a first baseman pitch the way Sean Doolittle is." As it turned out, when Doolittle was a college player, he was compared to Mark Grace. They figured he was going to be the next Mark Grace, and I said, "Well, did you meet him?" He said, "I felt too bad. I didn't want to." I said, "Why didn't you just walk over and see him?" That's how young players are at times. But he was that good of a first baseman. Grace, a very good first baseman, and Sean Doolittle, when he was in camp before he had his injuries to his knees and his wrist, he was in that same category.
Yeah, he was a top hitting prospect
absolutely.
for the Athletics. Sandoval takes high.
Did ask him if he played the violin because of the way he sets up, but said no, that he started this position where he has the glove under his chin and his head down. He said he'd wear his cap down lower so he could focus on the catcher only, and that's it. Just try to keep down. And it's Todd Stevenson, the A's AAA coach, you saw him do that because he started bringing his arm up. He had it more down at an angle, brought it straight up, and Trick said, "Well, you've got it there, leave it there," because he was having success. But Andy Pettit, a little bit out of the stretch, does that. Of course, Pettit out of the windup has his glove right in front of his face, just his eyes peeking over the top of his mitt.
Fastball up and away. Sandoval chases 2-2.
If you can elevate, you're going to get a lot of hitters out, power hitters, and that's exactly what he did there. Came up with the pitch.
So the count even at 2-2. Belt, a left-handed hitter in the on-deck circle. Fastball 94, good pitch, right in on the hand. Sandoval was able to just get a piece of it.
When Doolittle, of course, and just started pitching last fall, pitched in college, but when he learns how to elevate consistently, like on Friday night, Sanchez, a couple of fastballs up and away, and then threw one down, and then he hit a single left field. But pitchers that can elevate the fastball can have success at this level just because of the velocity, harder pitch to hit, especially going up the ladder.
And Sandoval chased again. So he waves at a couple pitches, and there's the strikeout.
Fans only, the Chevron credit card gets you free A's tickets at the Coliseum box office. Purchase an A's ticket at a regular price. Show your Chevron credit card and get a second ticket of equal value free. Go to ChevronCards.com to learn more and apply. See, subject to availability, some restrictions apply. This offer is administered by Chevron.
So 2 outs for Belt. Fastball right there for a strike. 0 for 2 so far for Belt. 3 for 7 in the series. High fastball, swing and a miss. 94 miles an hour. Shift is on with Pennington playing behind second base. Inge, the lone man on the left side of the diamond. Posey inching up. Posey takes off, and it's a swing and a miss. Struck him out. So nice inning by Doolittle as he takes over, gets a couple of strikeouts. 7th inning stretch. Giants 2, A's 1. Seattle A's Mariners would be Tommy Malone against Erasmo Ramirez. So Malone, Ramirez. Our coverage starts here on Comcast Sportsnet California at 6:30 with A's pregame live, and then the ball game right after that. So join us as the A's start a 7-game road trip, 3 in Seattle and 4 in Arlington, Texas. So interleague play done after today. Back to the AL West. Joaquin Arias comes in the game to play third base and play some Sandoval. And Matt Cain back out there. 103 pitches, and that's, I guess, what aces do. Get back out there.
Nothing against Arias unless there's something wrong with Sandoval. That's a pretty good bat, a big bat to take out of the lineup in 7th inning. Granted, he just made the last out.
Yeah,
but
defense is what Bruce Bochy did in the perfect game. He took Sandoval out.
Yeah.
And put Arias in.
He almost stumbled for the foul out to throw it across the diamond, but he got it done.
First pitch strike to Inge. He'll be followed by Moss and Norris. Inge, a fielder's choice and a strikeout. So Matt Cain had to work real hard in that 6th inning. It was by far his most difficult inning, but he was able to keep the A's off the board, and he's back out there for the bottom of the 7th. And there's a strike call, 1-2. Big overhand curve from Cain. In Cain's perfect game, he threw 125 pitches.
but he's generally right around 110.
I think in the case of Matt Cain, that he's kind of one of those old school kind of guys that you look at him and know that really could throw the pitch count out the window. They won't do it, but he's one that figure he can pitch deep and knows that what he has to do to try to get out, gets out, even though.
Fair ball. Posey underhands, and that's out number 1. So difficult break for Brandon Inge. It was just a check swing, and it just dribbled down the first base line, and Posey got out there quickly.
The ball did hit behind the plate, but it went fair, and Posey getting out as quickly as they did. The ball hit the grass and started to roll foul, hit the lip, but Posey got it beforehand and flipped the ball to first base. And it's just a very good play by Posey, getting rid of his catcher's mask.
So 1 out for Moss, and yeah, if he doesn't get to it, that ball probably rolls foul. Moss with a fly ball to center field and a strikeout. If he can get a hole of one. And a changeup, and it's 0-2.
Now, once it hit the lip of the grass, Posey grabbed it with his bare hand right as it approached the chalk. I thought Tishner would have called it foul anyway, but that's all right. It ended up being just fair.
Skied left side of the diamond. Crawford and Arias both looking at it, and it's going to be Crawford, the shortstop, who makes the catch. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So 111 pitches now for Cain.
Now batting the catcher, number 36, Derek Norris.
That'd be interesting to see who's available, who's not available for Bruce Bochy's bullpen. Lopez, Affeldt, Hensley, Casilla all have thrown in both games in this series. Yesterday, 5 relievers were used. Oh, 0-1 to Derek Norris. On the infield, it's Crawford again, and he's got it. Side retired. So Matt Cain has a very nice 7th inning. We're headed to the 8th. Giants 2, A's 1. It's brought to you by Cache Creek's Summer of Luck. $500 cash every hour from 2 p.m. till midnight. Visit cachecreek.com for details.
Well, it's the 8th inning, and the Giants, since after the first inning, have led 2-1. There's their guy, entertaining the crowd. She's doing just fine on her own. So to be Sanchez, Crawford, and Blanco against Doolittle. Doolittle relieved Griffin with a runner at first and nobody out in the 7th. And got the next 3 hitters with a couple of strikeouts. So he's back out there. He threw 18 pitches in that 7th inning. Sanchez got a fastball, fouled it straight back. Sanchez faced Doolittle in that 9th inning on Friday night and got a hit against him.
Up for the bullpen after A.J. Griffin did a great job to keep it at a 2-1 game, and bullpen trying to do the same. A's have come from behind, and they trailed in this game the entire way after yesterday trailing, but tried to come from behind. Jim Miller gets loose. Friday night they had the game with a 3-1 lead in the 9th inning. Ended up losing it. Keep it close. You never know how the sun might affect the end of this game.
Sanchez with a single and a strikeout in the game. And he swings at a breaking ball, and that's a good one. And that's another strikeout for Doolittle, his 3rd in a row. Well, we got in-depth sports news for the Bay Area fan. It's Sportsnet Central. It's brought to you by AT&T Uverse. It's this evening. Comes your way at 6 o'clock, and it's on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Full clubhouse reaction and highlights from our game here at the Coliseum. Meet A.J. Jenkins, 49ers rookie, and NASCAR hits Sonoma. Damon Andrews and Brody Brazil will host. Lefty on lefty as Brandon Crawford steps in. Crawford has not done much in this series offensively. He's 0 for 9.
You know, if every shortstop could look at one great late, unfortunately, Mark Belanger, the job he did defensively, and still go back to certain positions being more for the defense than the offense. If they can do the job defensively, and I think Crawford's kind of in that category right now with the Giants, although they are not a huge team when it comes to getting a lot of hits. So you're looking for offense at all positions, but young man plays solid defense, then that's where he can benefit a ball club, just like Jamal Weeks, flip Pennington up the middle. You always want offense, but boy, the defense can save so many runs. And you know, Kurt Suzuki is in that category, playing hurt as much as he has, especially the last month and a half, and the runs that he has saved behind the plate catching in his defense. Been more productive that way than offense, mainly because the injury to his left hand has really limited him to what he can do offensively. But you just don't like to see so much that the emphasis is on offense. You forget about what a guy is capable of doing defensively to prevent runs from scoring.
Oh, 0-1 the count to the leadoff man Blanco. Blanco is 0 for 3. And he bunts it, and Inge tried to barehand it, and he could not come up with it, and Blanco has a hit.
The only possibility there, although the ball was a couple of feet on the grass with a spin, maybe would have taken it out. Nobody was going to throw him out. He's out of the box quickly. Norris came out from behind the plate, but the only thing is Inge. A lot of confusion with Doolittle running in front. Could not pick it up and throw. Maybe best suited that way with 2 outs. Give him first base, although capable of stealing second, but throw the ball down the right field line, he's going to be standing at third. So at least right now he's at first, and keep him there, then it's going to take a couple of hits to drive him in.
So here's Terrio. Blanco with 12 steals on the year.
And figured against a left-handed Doolittle, if he runs, he's going to go on first move and hope that the ball goes to the plate instead of to first base.
Not running there, and there's a line drive. Coco Crisp will play it on a hop. So Terrio goes after the first pitch, and he has his second hit. So a 2-out rally as Melky Cabrera will hit. And Bob Melvin's coming out. 29 pitches thrown by Doolittle. There has not been a signal yet. Now there is. So Doolittle gives up back-to-back hits. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
A 2-out rally by the Giants. 2 on, 2 out. They're leading 2-1 over the A's. So Jim Miller comes in. th appearance. Good ERA for Miller, 1.21. So he's done a nice job. So the A's probably wanted to get Melky Cabrera from the left side. Not that he's not a good hitter from the left side, but his numbers against right-handed pitching are very impressive. Versus left-handers, he's hitting .424. That's the second best average against lefties in the National League. .327 against right-handers, so over 100 points difference. First pitch, he takes a strike. But the A's have done a good job with Cabrera in this series. He's 1 for 12. And he pops it up. Shallow left center. It's going to be Seth Smith, who's got it. Side retired. So a couple of runners stranded for the Giants. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It's still a 2-1 game. Here's our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. This was in the very first inning. Buster Posey with a 2-run homer. The A's came right back in the bottom of the first. Ruddick with an RBI single. Matt Cain, very good again. Cain 7 innings, just 3 hits. And controversy, that ball was called foul by Todd Tishner. Looked fair to us, and that was in the 6th inning, and that was with 2 runners on. It would have gave the A's the lead. Good story for the A's tonight. The major league debut of A.J. Griffin. He goes 6+ innings, gives up just that Posey home run. So that is your game summary. 2-5-0 for the Giants, 1-3-0 for the Athletics. Till bottom of the 8th. And a pinch hitter. I'll tell you about the new pitcher first. It's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. It's the lefty Jeremy Affeldt.
He is the veteran. He is a reliever, former starter.
That one's driven to right center. That's hit pretty well. And that baby is off the top of the wall by Hicks.
Wow.
And the ball is fired back into the infield. And the pinch hitter, Hicks, almost pumped one out of here.
Well, it seemed to die right as it got to the wall, but a great job of hitting going opposite field on a 1-0 pitch. A fastball away, and Hicks, who almost hit a grand slam yesterday, drove in a couple to hit down the right left field line. This one, he goes opposite field, and it looked like it took off and then just died, but up on the jagged edge. And opposite field hitting by Hicks. Well, it seemed to, I don't know if the wind was blowing right to left for a while, and maybe that one was knocked down, but good swing by Hicks, and the A's have something going in the 8th inning.
So now the top of the order in Coco Crisp.
Maybe Arias can do what the Dodgers really did for a couple of games back-to-back. Bunt it to him, pitcher. I think he's going to third base and let both runners be safe.
Balfour starts to throw out in the Athletics bullpen. So Crisp on deck is Weeks. So the A's, a great opportunity to tie it and maybe more here in the bottom of the 8th inning with a leadoff double from Brandon Hicks. Corner infielders creeping in, and that one bunted at the plate, foul.
And Coco just jabbed at the ball, trying to bunt it to third, and he might as well just drag the bunt because it looks like better that way than the sacrifice. Or turn around and bat left-handed. This is a good opportunity to take off the bunt considering where the first and third basemen are.
It's toward Belt. Belt looks to third, but he'll get the out at first. So Coco does the job, and now the A's have the tying run at third with 1 out.
In a situation like that, ideally you want the third baseman to field the ball, but Coco, after trying to jab at it and push it to third base, decided just to get the bunt down. Not many are going to take a chance and go to third base on a bunt like that. Bell decided to get the sure out.
And that runner in from third with less than 2 outs. 3 for 7 for Jamal. A's need him to do it here. Infield comes in. First pitch to Weeks. Big breaking ball, but it stays outside. Affeldt thought it was a strike. Affeldt has pitched in both games in this series. 17 pitches on Friday, 11 pitches yesterday.
Brian Gorman called it correctly. That ball came around the plate to get to Buster Posey's catcher's mitt.
That breaking ball, same spot, missed again, 2-0.
Well, Affeldt wants them, but again, it's not where the catcher catches the ball. And you realize where Posey is set up, the catcher set up behind home plate. So there's probably a good 3 or 4 feet, if not more, between the plate and the catcher. And still, if the ball ends up in the catcher's mitt, how does it get there? He has to go around the plate. See how far Posey is behind the plate. That's Well, his pitcher's upset, but Brian Gorman sees the way the ball comes around.
Fastball. Weeks took a big rip, fouled it back 2-1. 2-1.
It's 2-1.
It is 2-1. That was good either way. Angels have taken a 5-3 lead over the Dodgers in the bottom of the 7th inning. Reddick, a left-handed hitter on deck. Sergio Romo, a right-hander, is warming up in the Giants bullpen. Two-one pitch, and Posey dug it out. How about that?
That's called a catcher's block, but one of those impossible ones to block. A ball that just buried in the dirt, and Posey just put his glove down. That's not a block. That's just putting the glove up and hoping it hits it, and that's all you can do. Really didn't have a chance to move his body in front of it, but luckily for him, the ball found his glove.
So 3-1 to Weeks. Here's the pitch, and he walked it. So Affeldt comes in, and he's in a heap of trouble with Reddick coming up. Well, we're going to have a meeting on the mound. So it started with the pinch hitter Brandon Hicks doubling high off the wall in right field. And then Coco Crisp with the sacrifice. Weeks with the walk. First and third, one out.
Remember the opposite field shot that Landon Powell hit off Jeremy Affeldt last year right here? Opposite field, right center field, and game winner against Affeldt. The A's trying to do the same this afternoon against the same lefty, only this time it's not the switch hitting Powell, it's the left-handed hitting Reddick, and not surprisingly the infield's playing back for two. And that's what the walk with the runner at third does, moves the infield back, the infield playing in. So Jamal walks, Reddick comes up, and they play back. The way to negate that is Sam Jamal steals second, then the infield has to come in again.
0-1 to Reddick. And he hits it toward Terrio. And there's one, and that's a double play. Reddick slams his helmet down. The A's do not score, and we're headed to the ninth. Giants 2, A's 1. sensing some frustration from the Athletics players.
Well, sometimes a walk works to benefit a club. They get the tailor-made 4-6-3 double play, and Josh Reddick frustrated, firing his helmet, but couldn't have been more perfect. After the infield played in, Jamal Weeks the walk, and the Giants able to turn the double play.
So it remains 2-1. And that's what the A's feel right there. Reddick says it all. But still an inning left. It'll be Posey, Pagan, and Arias against Jim Miller. First pitch to Posey is a strike. Casilla is up for the Giants. Hicks stays in the game at short. Posey with a homer, fly ball to center field, and a walk. So a couple of home runs in this series for the Giants catcher. No 2-pitch, a slider that Posey watches go by. Fastball way high. See Miller, I think he got under that one a little bit. Two pitch on the ground. Hits, backs up, and then throws in time. Pitching matchups for this upcoming series in Seattle. Malone, Ramirez tomorrow. Blackley, Vargas, a couple of lefties on Tuesday. And then Parker and Millwood on Wednesday. First two will be televised. The Wednesday day game will be radio only. Bunted, and Inge is going to let it go, and it will stay foul. Thank you. Rolls back fair, but after it crossed third base.
Brandon Inge, very smart play. Knew he did not have a chance as he tried to bare hand and just pulled his hand back. The sleight of hand, and does a good job as that ball took the bounce, and Brandon just hoping that it continued to roll foul, and it did.
Now, how often do you see this? Oh, it hits something.
Yeah, it hit a divot.
Speaking of the Mariners, they're trailing 2-0 in the 8th inning in San Diego. Oh, 1 to Pagan, who is 0 for 3. 9 hits total in the game. The Giants with 5 and the A's with 4. It'll be Cespedes, Smith, and Inge. If anybody were to get aboard, Moss. Those are scheduled hitters for the A's in the bottom of the 9th inning. Casilla is going to be the guy. He has also pitched in both games in this series. Little pop up left center field. Hicks is out, and Hicks makes a nice catch over the shoulder. So that's out number 2. So Brandon Hicks. It's not easy with the sun. No. Guys coming toward you.
Kind of no man's land, and you're going out. You're just hoping the outfielders don't come charging in and not see you. And Coco went to the slide, and well, that couldn't have worked more perfectly, especially with Coco reaching back to his left in case there was a deflection. And that is a great job with their back to the infield. able to make the over-the-shoulder catch.
So 2 outs for Joaquin Arias. First pitch in the first strike. Jim Miller's quietly done a nice job. Not just today, I'm talking about really the whole season. Fouled above us.
Think we can get Jamal Weeks to change his first name to Brandon? He would have
a full infield. We can ask him.
And then McCarthy comes back
That's
and
right.
put him on the mound. No, Jamal's not going to change his name.
But I know what you're thinking.
I've never seen a team with so many Brandons. Brandon, it's not like it's a John or Jim. It's a common name. A lot of them.
0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. So a very nice 3-up, 3-down inning for Miller. Well, here we go, folks. See if the A's can have some ninth inning magic. Cespedes is going to lead it off. He'll face Casilla. 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the ninth inning.
Play well, we have to do it, folks. This is it. The game, watch the white, it dropped, and unfortunately after that the hands went up by Todd Tishner. Everybody, Bob Melvin, Seth Smith, frustrated as he hit the ball, but it was called foul. That's a 2-run double. Instead, after what turned out to be a 12-pitch at bat, he flew out to left field. But the difference in the game, that one call that would have helped the A's take the lead, although not scoring first and third last inning with 1 out, and now they have to try to do it in the 9th inning against Santiago Casilla.
When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog expert. So 20 saves, 21 opportunities for Casilla. So Cespedes to lead things off, and then Smith and Inge. Third straight appearance for Casilla. Those are the pitches, the amount of pitches he's thrown so far. First pitch is popped up. Posey's coming back, and Posey is going to watch it go right into the first row on the other side of the fence. So Casilla coming right out with a fastball to Cespedes.
Amazing what Diamond Level has done here at the Coliseum. Moved the area out behind home plate, decreased the size behind home plate between that and the fence. That's an out normally, but Cespedes gets another chance.
0-1 pitch and a breaking ball, no swing, says Tishner. So 1-1 the count.
If he calls that a strike, about 4 people have been ejected. In the dirt.
Could have.
It could have, yep. Exactly, but still, with the way things have gone, glad he did.
Cespedes, a couple of strikeouts and a walk so far in the game. And there's a shot, base hit left field.
Do not hang him the slider, because that's what he's going to do. He's got to be happy he didn't elevate it.
So the A's have the leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the 9th inning. So that's a good start.
And it was a hanger, and Cespedes at tremendous bat speed got it through the zone.
We're going to get a pinch runner. Gomes is going to hit, or going to run for Cespedes.
There's your Exmo with the bad hit of Cespedes strongly getting out in front and hammering it to left field.
Cespedes, of course, still with the hamstring issue. He's been DHing, so Gomes, who has pretty decent speed, will pinch run, and Seth Smith will step in. So the A's are hoping that for the first time in this series, the 9th inning goes their way, and they're off to a good start. So Gomes with the lead. First pitch to Smith is a strike. Smith hit by a pitch, and then a fly ball to center and a fly ball to left in foul territory. And a quick 0-2. Six and 9, the A's are in one-run games. Of course, the first two in this series have been one-run games. Smith swings and misses at a big overhand breaking ball, and that's out number 1.
Another hard breaking ball down and in, hard curve ball, and Smith swung right over it.
Brandon Inge.
So here's Inge. Inge reached on a fielder's choice and then struck out and hit a little dribbler out in front of home plate that Posey picked up and threw him out at first. So he is 0 for 3. 3 for 9 in the series. So Casilla looks like at least better control today than he had yesterday. He was a little all over the place yesterday. Inge hits a high foul ball, and it should reach the seats, and it will. So 0-2. On deck is the left-handed hitting Brandon Moss, and there is a lefty in the bullpen. It's Javier Lopez.
If it's Brian Wilson on the mound, he stays, but not necessarily now with Wilson out for the season.
0-2 pitch, and that one's lined to left field, and that's a base hit. Cabrera over to cut it off, and stopping is Gomes. The throw goes back toward Gomes. So on an 0-2 pitch, Brandon Inge lines a single to left field. How about that?
And not surprising, maybe the previous batter, Seth Smith, saw, or Inge saw him throw the breaking pitch with a couple of strikes, and just so happened to Casilla hung it right in the eyes of Brandon Inge and got on top of it and smoked it to left field. It'd been nice to see him get under the ball a little bit. It game would have been over. So Bochy, I wouldn't call it running to the mound. I guess with those bad knees, he got out there as quickly as he could, but indicating that he's not taking out Casilla. So it's up to Brandon Moss to face the lefty, or the righty in Casilla, and not the lefty in the bullpen. Sometimes a pitcher can become predictable in how they pitch hitters, and you see it along with Buster Posey going to the breaking ball, and if it's thrown hard and as well as he did to Seth Smith, he might have gotten the out, but he hung it and has to be lucky that game's not over.
So here's Moss. 2 on, 1 out, bottom of the 9th. First pitch is a fastball on the inside corner for a strike. So he's had pretty good fastball location. He's had poor breaking ball location. Strike 2 called on the inside corner with another fastball. So same spot the first 2 pitches to Brandon Moss.
And there are strikes.
Yep. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He stayed with the fastball. That one at 95 miles an hour.
And that was after failing to throw an 0-2 curveball. Came right back, just challenged him with the fastball, stayed with it, and got the strikeout.
Number 36.
So it's up to the youngster, Derek Norris, see if he can be a hero.
And Kurt Suzuki came down from the bullpen. Came run again, thought he might be used as a pinch hitter. Suzuki has had a lot of success in the pinch hitting role.
Gomes is the tying run at second. Blocked by Posey in the dirt. Norris a strikeout. Pop out to first, pop out to short. So a terrific time for his first hit in the ball game.
And look where these outfielders are playing, all shallow, even though Norris has the potential to drive the ball. So they're not playing against any possible double that would win the game for the A's. They're going for a possible base hit to throw out a runner at the plate if that's the case. But Johnny Gomes a tremendous lead off second because both infielders are holding their position. So if Norris could hit one to left center to right center, the A's would win, because no way for one of the outfielders to cut it off. So that's the best case scenario for Derek Norris. Get his game winner. That's the pitch to do it.
So the count 1-1 to Norris.
Cespedes got his first walk-off on Thursday in his rookie season. The bearded one trying to do it against the Giants. Just think if the beard was on the mound, what a sight this would be.
A beard off. 1-1 pitch. Just a bit high with a fastball. 2-1. Missed inside, so now it's 3-1. So if nothing else, it's a hitter's count for Norris.
Well, and that young man, if he had hit the same ground rule double today that he hit yesterday, if the bases are loaded, game's over, because that's the difference in a 1-run lead and the 3-run lead yesterday the Giants had. So right now is a critical pitch for Santiago Casilla and for Derek Norris. That, man, you got to sit fastball and you got to say, if it's there, unload. Don't hold anything back.
Here's the pitch, and it's on the outside corner. Strike 2 call. Norris doesn't agree as he walks away.
And he opened up slightly. Watch the front side. He opened up, and that was just enough, maybe not to recognize the pitch on the outside corner.
I guess we should figure, this series should end this way. Yep. Everybody on their feet. The tying and go ahead and winning run, I should say, on the bases. 3-2, bottom of the ninth. Long look by Casilla. Now he's ready. 3-2 pitch, and it's fouled right off Posey's mitt. Rolls back behind home plate. So we'll do it again.
And that was the fastball to hit. So if he stays with the fastball, Derek Norris should be able to at least gauge 3-1, 3-2. Would he do it again or try to fool him with a curveball, which would not be a bad pitch? And it's a gutsy call, but you figure Derek Norris has to be sitting dead red with the fastball.
Outfield shallow, straight away. Casilla again, the 3-2 pitch, and that one's hit to left. That's hit pretty well. Melky Cabrera's going back, and
It's a walk-off for Derek Norris. The A's finally have the 9th inning go their way. Let them celebrate, baby.
Looks like they shredded him, Kite. He doesn't have a jersey on, but I don't think he cares. Wow.
So 4-2 is your final. Boy, what a series. And at least the A's can walk off the field in the final game, and they can celebrate, which has to be a terrific feeling. So Derek Norris on a 3-2 pitch, a 3-run homer.